Anyway, we have two wonderful speakers tonight. Moving right along. First up, we have Mr. Matt Fonda. Matt is doing speech number 6 out of the Confident Communicator Manual, which is about vocal variety. So, evaluator is doing that. Hurry, so you'll be looking out for his vocal variety tonight, as all of us will. And it's to entertain or amuse, 5 to 7 minutes. And it's called Always Be Prepared. And apparently this is about a journey of beauty, new lands, and near-death experience. It sounds like quite the adventure. So please welcome up Matt Fonda.
Have you ever been on a road trip? Everybody, good. My last road trip was 3,300 miles. And that may sound familiar to you. It's the exact distance from Philadelphia all the way to Los Angeles, where I moved 7 months ago. So the beginning of my journey begins in Philadelphia. And fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, there's one thing I can tell you about a road trip, is always be prepared. So I started off in Philly, and I left with my best friend Pete. Now, Pete's kind of a scruffy guy. He's stocky, he trains in the martial arts, he's got a little scruff. He's always working out, and we do guy stuff a lot, going on adventures, hang out with buddies. So Pete was a great person to bring along for this trip, and he was also moving, so we said, hey, let's do this together. So we left, we stopped in Cleveland, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Then we went to the Badlands in the Dakotas, and finally we ended up at Bryce Canyon. Have you been to Bryce Canyon?
Yes.
Beautiful place. A picture, as far as you can see, just big open canyon. But it's a layer cake. Down here is like a dark gray, then you have a tan, then you have a dark gray, then you have a blackish color, then you have this. And it's called sedimentary rock. So when the sun rises, you see these beautiful hues and colors. And at sunset, it's the same thing. And all these rock colors change as the sun changes. It's beautiful. So we get to Bryce Canyon. I say, hey, Pete, do we have the food? He says, yes, we have the food. Hey, Pete, do we bring water? Yes, we have water, camelbacks. Pete, do we have a map? We don't need a map, let's go. So we start walking, and we're hiking and hiking and hiking, and all around us are other families and little kids and grandma and grandpa. And we think, this is not the adventure that we wanted to do. We wanted something crazy, we're going to do something wild, So we're walking, we finally get to about 2 miles in on this path. And Pete says, hey, let's go this way. I turn, there's nothing there, it's just open wilderness. No path, no trail. Pete, we're going to get lost if we go that way. Exactly. So we get lost. We start walking off the beaten path. We're hiking for about another hour or so. We get hungry, we eat some food. Finally, I'm starting to get nervous. I'm like, how are we going to get back? And we look around it. As far as you can see, we have no idea where we're at. And Pete looks up and he says, isn't that our car way up there? I squint. That is our car. Well, let's go up this way. And I look at him like he's crazy. And he says, yeah, come on, let's try it. I just blindly follow. So we start climbing, and the thing you should know about a canyon like this is that it weathers the most towards the bottom. So as you go up, it's fairly shallow, it's easy. You get towards the top, it's really steep. And the worst part about it is that the rocks just crumble underneath your feet. Sedimentary rocks, you step on it, and boulders fall out. So you've got to keep going to one rock, climb to another rock, climb to another rock, hold on to a tree, climb to another rock. So we zigzag all up this mountain. We get about 100 feet from the top, and I start singing to myself because I'm very nervous, and this calms me down. And all of a sudden, I hear a guardian angel at the top. This French couple's up at the top, and we lean over. I look up, and I'm thinking, I didn't know guardian angels were French. And they say, hey, there's you down there. Can we take your picture? Sure, you can take our picture, holding on to one rock. We're smiling. So they start to leave. I'm thinking, what's going on here? And Pete yells, hey, big guy, can you come over to the edge and help us? We're going to make a dash for it. He looks down and says, oh, no, goodbye, and he leaves. He's gone. So we're hanging here on the cliff, like this, shaking, running out of energy, running out of food, running out of water. We're getting to the end. Pete finally makes a dash for it. He makes it. I'm still nervously hanging on. So I try to climb. I follow the exact path that Pete followed. I get about 15 feet from the top, and I slide all the way back down, about 30 feet. And I grab one more rock. There's a straight cliff right underneath me. I'm thinking, I can't do that again. So I try again. I get almost to the top, and I fall back down again. At this point, my limbs are all scraped. I'm sweating profusely. I'm really nervous, and I look down, and I see a very painful and unpleasant death. So I decide the best way is to just keep going up. I try a third time, and I fall back down, and I'm saved by this little tree that I grab onto. It's about the size of my thumb. Finally, I'm about to give up, and I say, Pete, do you have a rope? Yeah, I think I have one in my pack. Let me check. He comes over here, looks in his pack. Yeah, I got one. He pulls out this rope, which is an exaggeration. It's more like beefy dental floss. It's the kind of rope you tie up your furniture when you're coming home from IKEA. So he throws me on this rope. It's just long enough to reach my pack. So as I'm holding on with one hand, I do my best single-handed square knot, tie it up, look up, say, this is it, let's do it. And he starts pulling, and I start scurrying. He's pulling, and I'm scurrying. He's pulling, I'm scurrying. Finally get to the top, and I fall flat on my face, just thanking, oh my gosh, I made it, I'm alive. And I stand up, and I give Pete a big hug, and I say, thanks, man. And I look out over this huge landscape, beautiful canyon from the top, 1,500 feet from where we climbed. So the moral of the story is, if you're going on a road trip, you have to climb out of a canyon, always be prepared.
Too sweaty when I just shook your hand. Just thinking about being up that high, you already know I'm afraid of heights. He's talking about hanging on and shaking. Forget about it. I would have just went down to the bottom and had somebody come rescue me. Thank you very much, Matt.